Greetings and welcome to another Master Phil in Your Corner episode. This is episode number 125. And I know that we've been on a little bit of a hiatus, but we're back in the saddle right now. And there's no one better to come back in the saddle with us than my good friend Gene Zanetti. And we're going to be discussing the NCAA wrestling, the championships from 2025. It was a wild ride. But you know what? Our guest here is a repeat offender, as we call them on our podcast. They come back more than once. And he is one half of the most influential programs for wrestlers out there and other athletes, as well as high achievers. This is Gene Zanetti from the Z Winning Mindset. Welcome back, Gene.
Phil, thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.
Yeah. So I've been dying to do this podcast, and I didn't want to do it with anyone else but you. Finally, our schedules jive up here, but that was an incredible event that we were at in Philadelphia. I'll tell you, they did a great job with it. I mean, from soup to nuts, it was incredible. The wrestling, the high level, the ups, the downs, the upsets, the triumphs, the defeats, the appearance of President Trump, and the biggest upset in my mind in NCAA wrestling history. And we were there to watch it. It was incredible.
Oh, nuts. It absolutely was. And I mean, yeah, like an unbelievable fellowship with a lot of people we don't always see. The great thing about the NCAA is you have some of the biggest wrestling fans, most serious people about wrestling. I mean, it's not exhaustive, but people all coming in from around the country and being together. It's it really is a once a year event. I mean, obviously it's a once a year event, but it's something that is of great magnitude in the wrestling world. And it didn't disappoint.
No, it didn't. To me, it's my Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
It's my Super Bowl,
Oh, yeah.
And the cool thing was also, I felt a little more involved this year, working at the Wrestling Mindset booth, and then putting on that the wrestling workshop and the WrestleLite mats at the FanX. So I felt actually really part of it.
Oh, yeah. No, it was great. The fact that we were all part of it, we had a lot of really strong wrestling mindset representation. You, our other mindset coaches, Alex Evanoff was there, of course, Jay Connor, my brother, myself, all of us, and many of our clients too. I mean, you look at the lowest seed All-American was a 7-year long time wrestling mindset member, Gavin Drexler, was seeded 22nd, became an All-American. Jeff was literally working with him since he was in like 7th grade, something crazy like that.
Wow. And he became an All-American.
Yep. 149 pounds and went up a weight. In the beginning of the year, he was contemplating going down. We helped talk him into going up because the answer is not always cut the weight and get smaller. It's wrestle where you're good and have confidence. And that's exactly what he did out there.
Oh, that's great. And he wrestled Sammy Alvarez for 7-8.
Sammy, another one. Here's the talk about another guy who I have pictures of him and Joey Cangro in my basement when they were in like 7th or 8th grade. Now he wasn't actually Sammy was never actually on the wrestling mindset program, to be clear, but we've been around him for years as well. And of course, up around here, Bergen County, that's your stomping grounds for much longer than it's been mine.
Oh, okay. So now let's get into this. Let's talk about 125 and Peterson had a heck of a match with Figs in the earlier rounds, and I was really surprised that Peterson didn't make All-American. He lost in the blood round.
Yeah. No, man. I mean, well, so first of all, having that pin was unbelievable. The whole place went nuts. That really kicked things into high gear there. I mean, you pin a defending national champ. I mean, those guys are supposed to make the finals, or they're supposed to win it in people's minds. Anyone who's a national champ this year, people are automatically thinking where they're going to win it next year. Well, that's not a guarantee. Dean Peterson, who's a gamer, he came out, he kicked it into high gear. He got that pin in a scramble, and he said he normally doesn't even cradle people. You don't see a whole lot of cradles outside of David Taylor in NCAA tournaments, and Ed Ruth, of course. Yeah. But there's the exceptional wrestlers, but yeah, that was unbelievable. And then didn't wind up placing. And then now heading out of Rutgers and going to Iowa. So that's a big one. I mean, that's nuts. I mean, I'm sure he'll do, he's the type of kid who'll do well anywhere he goes. But of course, Iowa always, with world and Olympic people and champions and medalists, he's going to be competitive. I could only see, I'm sure he's only going to get better.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm wondering, what could have helped him on a mindset level or mindset aspect, coming off of that huge win. Do you think that he potentially had a bit of a letdown and then maybe lost a little focus? Expected. I saw him after a match. He was completely elated. Saw him walking around. Do you think that maybe he might have let it get to him too much? I don't know.
It's a lurking feeling and we all know as wrestlers, there's that lurking feeling like, hey, no matter what happens, I did this, but at the same time, there's still work to be done. And that's where I think the importance of your mindset really comes in. And we're not saying you didn't have a good mindset. I don't know what was
I don't
actually in
know.
his head. I don't work with them, but you do have to be on the alert for that because after a big loss, but also a big win, you have those creeping thoughts. So, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look at what happened last year year before with Spencer Lee, right?
Yeah. I
When
was
yeah, and then you know, and then
I,
who-
I walked in for that match, that Spencer Lee match when it was in Tulsa. My
yeah,
brother Jeff and I, we got there for that round. What was that, the semis? I think it was the
that was the
semis.
semis. Yeah, yeah,
We got there just in time for that match. And I mean, you want to talk about starting with a bang. So that NCAA tournament was the last one my brother and I went to. That one started with a bang, and this one ended with a bang.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and then everyone figured Matt Ramos was going to win the title, and then he lost in the finals.
Yeah, he lost in it what the next 2 years, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and he lost
Yeah.
this year.
And
Yeah.
it's no knock on him. Obviously, on a different day, he could have been the one. He could have been the one to do it. But there's always good people out there, and no one's a shoe. And you have to keep getting better. And that's also, I think, you have to have the mentality that if you're in the hunt, the time to win is now. A lot of people will think to themselves like, well, I'm only a freshman or sophomore. This might be your only shot, whether it be
Yes.
injuries, government shuts down the world on account of COVID, or who knows what else they're going to come up with in the future. So it's the time to win is right now. Don't hold out for another year. And I'm not saying that's what he was doing, but you're ready. You're ready to go right now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that's a huge fact that we have to acknowledge and drive home. You only have the present moment.
Um,
You only have the present moment. The past is gone. Whether you won, lost, whatever, doesn't matter. You just have what you're doing now, and the future hasn't happened yet. It's not here. So
right.
you have to be dialed in at what you're doing right this moment, and we really have to you know stress that and to all these athletes and people in general.
Think so. Yeah, yeah.
So what do you think about 133?
All right. So that was Luke. That wasn't Luke Lidhall. What who
Luke was in
125.
25. Yep. Yeah.
133. Let's go through it. So what was the final match there? It was Drake Ayala and Bird.
And Bird. That was
Bird wrestled tough. He was there to win. I mean, you look at the ends at the Big Ten. He was there to win at the Big Ten. He was there to win at the Nationals. And a guy like Drake Ayala, obviously, he's really good too. He's a guy who changes both sides really well. But Bird, man, being tough out there and being able to hold it down, coming in top seed. It's not easy to be a top seed and to that hold that seed. So I thought that was great. He wrestled very tough.
Yeah, there were a lot of gunslingers in that weight class,
And
130.
of course, yeah, oh yeah, and of course the talk of it was that now we didn't see this because we were being at the event. But then when you watch it off the event, it's funny how the experience is a little bit different whether
Yeah.
you're live, whether you're watching it on the TV. And the big thing was that his girlfriend's 6'3".
Yes.
So I mean, if you're 5'4" and your girlfriend's 6'3", confidence is in. I mean, I couldn't do that. He's a better man than me, right? It's like proving yet again that he does not care.
He
And that's what
does
you need
that.
to have to be a national champ. You have to not care.
Yeah, he doesn't care what other people think. He doesn't care what they might say. It's he's going to do him. And
Yep.
I mean, yeah, that girl dwarfs like his whole family. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty girl, but she's just big.
You'd have to have, and that's what I'm saying. You'd have to have that mindset where it's like, hey, this is what I'm after. This is what it is, and that's how it goes. So confidence is in for a guy like Bird.
Yeah, yeah. So come up to 141. Wow, what a barn burner that was, huh?
Well, okay, we'll go through the matches again. Who was 141 was
Yeah.
you got
What?
to give me the wrestlers.
Oh, no,
So
no, 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 no problem, no problem. We got Jesse Mendez.
um, Mendez and that was Bo Bartlett's weight, and
Bo
then
Bartlett, and Bo
Mendez
Bartlett
winning.
came back to take third.
and Mendez had
Party,
I forgot-
party.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it was a good match. Mendez, you got to take your hat off to him. The guy wrestled really tough all of last season, and this year had a couple losses. But
Mhm.
the cream rises to the top at the end, and you could see he just like he had that mentality, like he was there to win, and he wasn't going to be denied. He wasn't going to be denied. I mean, even that match with Bo Bartlett that he won, he's like I'm tougher. Like, and basically just in I mean, in each guy, I'm sure Bo Bartlett thinks he's tougher, but the point is he had that right mindset, and him being able to come back after losing 2 weeks ago, that's not easy either.
Oh my gosh, no, not at all, not at all. The thing is, he was fourth. He was fourth in the Big Ten,
Yeah.
and that
As-
match with him and Brock Hardy in the final was an incredible, incredible bout.
And Brock took him down, put him to his
Yeah.
back right away. So it's like, you don't see a whole lot of back points in big matches like that, but took him down and put him to his back. And you're thinking, man, Brock's gonna, he's on a tear right now, and he was on a tear. But hats off to Mendez. He wrestled really tough.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And then hey, listen, Bo put in his head, hey, the best thing I can do now is wrestle back for third, and that's what he did.
He did, yeah.
No,
So
that's
that's kind of
yeah.
all you could do.
When
When you don't get what you want, you get the next best thing.
exactly, that's your next best thing, and you know what? That's all you focus on. Hey, I dropped this one. Okay, I can't get first. I can get third. Let's go. And that's how
Right.
we look at it. How about 149? Henson and Ridge, love it.
Yeah, Ridge Love. It seems like a long time coming. Finally got over that hump, but again, anyone's match. And
Yeah,
I know the thing that stands in my mind is what Bo Bassett said when we spoke about this breakdown was that he wouldn't pick bottom. Henson wouldn't pick bottom, and just a sign of great respect that hey, this guy's. That's why it's we think about wrestling and we got to drill our moves. We think a lot about drilling on our feet, but if you make yourself a hammer on top where guys won't pick bottom against you, you got to point every single match basically. So I mean, it takes a lot of time and a lot of work, but don't just drill takedowns. Yeah, drill a lot of takedowns, but drill a lot of top also. And obviously, you got to be able to get off the bottom as well.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, hats off to Ridge Love. And it looks like he always has a good time, and he's out there too.
Oh yeah, yeah, I like him. I like him a lot. And then we go to 157.
Crowley, I said it about him. I had a hunch on him last year. First of all, he almost pinned Messenbrink last year in the dual meet against Penn State. Came in, I think Messenbrink shot. He almost chucked him, put him to his back, and then he wound up coming out. But like I saw him do a lot of things in that match against Messenbrink. I mean, he was standing up, he was reaching all the way back. He was Messenbrink had his leg, had his foot up on the ceiling, and he's kicking out. And I said, man, this guy's good. So Antrell Taylor, Trelly, I had a hunch on him last year. I said, hey, we should have wagered on that one. But again, great wrestling. Our guy Shane Van Ness being in the mix there also.
Yeah,
Wait, Shane's 57.
49.
49. Yeah. So not
Yeah,
that way. But
yeah.
Petrelli, yeah.
K-Sack.
So, hammer.
K-Sack from Penn State there.
Yeah, K-Sack was really tough also. And I got to meet K-Sack's parents at our table, and they were saying that he did a lot of like basically they were impressed. They learned a lot from wrestling mindset at one of the camps he was at. So they were good. So he's a great kid.
Yeah, and Joey Blaze. I mean, that kid, that was a
He wrestled tough. And I said, this Marcus Blaze's brother? Because Marcus Blaze is the one who surprised everyone who kind of came out of nowhere at what was it, the US Open or World
yes,
Team
US
Trials?
Open. I
And
think
yeah,
US
basically almost beat, I mean, I don't know if he almost beat Vito, but he lost by like a point to the defending world
Open.
champ.
Yeah, lost by a
Like,
point. Well,
and it's like, golly, this kid's in high school. And now you see his brother on a tear at the NCAA. So yeah, it makes sense.
crazy. So like, yeah, Antrell Taylor, like, that he was a fourth in the Big Ten too, right?
I forget.
Yeah,
I forget.
I think that he might even gotten pinned by K-Sack. I know.
Uh,
I think so. I'd have to look back. I can't quite remember. I'm trying to keep all these matches straight. It's kind of hard.
Trelly was up at 65 last year. He came down to 57. And like I said, he got beat bad by Messenbrink, but he had a pretty good style for him. And
Well,
I mean, coming down to 57, it was like, all right, this guy's going to be pretty tough.
yeah. I saw that match, and he took Messenbrink down first,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then I saw Messenbrink do a reset.
Yeah. Oh,
And once
yeah.
he did that reset, it was like boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom. Then he couldn't miss.
Well,
but
Meyer Shapiro against Trelli, and that was the semifinals, right? But
yeah,
you could see it skewing upper body, and I know Antrell Taylor's also like a freestyle guy too. I think he did some damage in U20s or something like U whatever it was, and yeah, I mean you could see he was beating him, he was getting the better of him, and even slamming him at the end too. So it was
yeah.
it's a crazy thing to see because Meyer Shapiro is very good.
Oh yeah, yeah. He beat him up a little bit. We
Yeah,
got to get Myers on some kettlebells. Talking about that, I don't know if you can see my little gift here I got from one of my students. See this Matt
nice.
Phil with the kettlebell. He gave me a
Yeah,
set. Uh, what happened was this guy came to me about he came to me a year ago. That's why he gave me a whole set, and he could barely deadlift a 10 kg kettlebell. His back was so messed up, and he'd been to doctors for years. No one was able to help him. And he went through my program. And the other day, he took a 62-pound kettlebell, 28 kg, 5 sets, swinging in 10 reps per set.
nice.
And he's like, you gave me my life back.
Bam.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
awesome.
having a, yeah, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Look, the mindset, the physical. How can we help people achieve? And that's why also just to mention that the bodybell method. I'm doing a whole bunch of seminars. I got the one on June 14th in person, and I'm contracted out with a bunch of different organizations. The AAAI, Fit Fix Now. The New Jersey Board of Physical Therapists have
Yeah.
recognized my program for credits. And I just got on with ICE, not the one you're thinking about, but it's the Institute for Continuing Education. So the Bodybell method is also applicable to chiropractors for credits. So chiropractors and PTs, doctors of chiropractic and PT can get credits from me for doing this program. So the healing properties are incredible. So, but we got to get Myers on there. Get a little. I think he needs a little kettlebell strength like Kyle Dake has.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So
He was
uh,
on the mindset. Meyer Shapiro was on the mindset program for over a year.
good. I mean, I love watching that kid wrestle.
Oh
I
yeah, that was tough.
He's tough, tough as nails. I love it. So going on to 165. Um, I'll tell you.
Caliendo is very good.
Yeah, without Mitchell Messenbrink, he wins. I
Yeah,
mean, if you look at Caliendo, how many people has he lost to? I think he's only lost to one person. He's not a national champ.
yeah, something crazy like that.
He is the best second place wrestler that I've seen in a long time. He only has one.
Gable Steveson. We'll get to that later, though. We'll get back.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's how we finish. But Messenbrink. I mean, it was either going to be, before this whole thing played out, it was either going to be Messenbrink or Starocci for the Hodge. But that'll come later in the conversation.
Yeah. But he was great. I mean, just a guy who really is looking to score. Like a guy who was genuinely looking to score the whole time. You don't see that all the time, where a guy who's really looking to score all the time, and that's Messenbrink. So it's awesome.
Yeah, and it was a heck of a match, and I mean, my hat goes off to Caliendo for giving us one heck of a bout there. So,
Oh yeah.
well, and then we go up to our friends at 174.
Yeah, and that's another one where where it's Dean, where he knocked off three-time going for his third title. Um, he went Missouri. What's you
Keegan
know,
O'Toole.
Keegan O'Toole. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It's funny because I actually picked Keegan to lose.
really.
Yeah, yeah. As much as
After the semis, you picked it before the finals or before the tournament?
I picked it before the tournament because
Wow,
because I watched him wrestle in
Big 12.
the Big 12, and I saw how he beat Dean Hannity, right? I saw how he beat him, and I said, I don't think he's going to do it again. And he looked like he was hurting.
Yeah, and you called it. Didn't he have like a torn ACL or something? Didn't that come out
Yep,
after? Yeah.
yep, yeah. I said, it looks like, look, I've seen Keegan wrestle a lot. I know he's a Ben
Yeah.
Askren product. And I've seen him wrestle a lot. And I'm like, he's not going to win the Nationals. I think he's going to lose to Hannity. But Hannity was, wow, another great, show. You know,
He's long. He's long. You could see when he was standing next to David Taylor, he was taller than David Taylor. He's long.
I mean, that's hey, talk about
Aggressive, getting to the ankle. He was getting after he was getting after it.
yeah,
Offensive.
absolutely. He was just on a mission, man, and it was mindset. You know, like he was going to win, and
Oh yeah.
he set himself up for that. And now we go to our friends at 184. What a showdown, huh?
Yeah.
That's what we knew was going to happen.
Man, yeah. So how did that match go down? What was who got the first takedown?
Well, the only takedown was Parker Kikessen. Parker got it.